genuinely surprised. This thing feels freaking awesome. I already called the dyno shop today. Test out the newer turbo in dyno for you guys. All right, we got both GoPros going. I don't know, this is my first time doing the GoPros in the 500 like this. Well, besides the Mikey turbos that I drove recently, but I'm excited because I just got the plates today. I just went to the DMV. I drove over 45 minutes away because Monday, today, that DMV had an appointment open. The one by me, which was like 15 minutes away, I had to wait 2 more days and I didn't feel like waiting. So I drove further away, got plates, we're in it. I just put $20 worth of gas. It literally barely moved. I guess gas went up even more now. So let's go for our first official drive in this car, because all I did was literally drive 1 block down the street to get gas, pulled over on the side street, set up the GoPros, and then we're gonna talk about what we're gonna do to this car, because it needs a new turbo. That we know. I'm gonna tell you in 1 second what's wrong with it. Alright, and we are off. I got like stuff in the back, so don't mind that if you hear rattling and stuff. Are we in sport mode? That's the one thing I always gotta do. Oh, we did save sport mode when I guess got gas. Maybe I turned it on. Alright, now we're in sport mode. The one thing I will say is the throttle is not nearly as aggressive as the 124 in sport mode, but that just might be due to the fact that Eurocompulsion dialed it in more aggressively on the 124, not on this one. I don't know. Yeah, in the back I have 1 seat down, 1 up. Oh, excuse me. Car cover, there's the exhaust back there, so don't mind too much. There's a lot of stuff everywhere. This has the DRLs like not installed, so you're gonna hear the blinkers going crazy basically. Alright, let's see a little bit. Oh yeah. Woo! Oh man, this feels good. I love it. It's like the 124, which is awesome. Obviously up top I expect this one to die off more with the stock turbo. I wish I could like hit the peak boost recall. I don't know if this camera's gonna pick it up. I'm curious what this is hitting. It's a nice cool day today. I don't know, I can't even know where the temperature is here, but it's 45. Let's go a little on throttle. Wow. That pulls nice. Holy, oh, look at the way this thing hugs. Oh my God. Fucking pulls, and that's a fucking police. That's not nice. Well, I wasn't speeding, I was just taking a turn at a nice pace. This feels stronger than it did the other day. These cool temps are definitely helping. So like I said when I started the video, it needs a new turbo. I knew this when I purchased it. Donnie did a lot of work recently on it, and there's like a bent turbo fin. He actually sent me a photo. I'll put it on screen. It actually looks like there's multiple that have slight bends and a little bit of, I don't know if it's like chipping or what, but either way, that could be sent in as a core exchange for something. Thanks for blocking my view. You're literally an entire car. Your entire car is above where you're supposed to stop. Dumbasses, I swear. Some people just can't fucking drive. All right. Anyway, ooh, got a dead deer on the side here. Let's do second gear pull. Red line's lower than I expected. Oh, that feels good. I'm genuinely surprised. This thing feels freaking awesome. For a stock turbo, this thing feels awesome. I wish, well, hopefully this GoPro can pick up the boost. I'm curious how it holds to redline, because on the 124 stock turbo it would drop a lot, but this thing feels fucking awesome, even though I shouldn't be ripping on it this much with the turbo. Let's see. I see it drop below, yeah, it dropped below 20 pounds at redline. I'm gonna hold, so I want to do a third gear pull right here and like kind of look at the gauge. Over 20, over 20, below 20, yep, like 17 or so. All right, so it acts just like the stock turbo in the 124. It feels awesome, but it does it peaks at whatever. I wasn't really paying that much attention because I was actually wanting to see what it drops to, which it does drop well below 20 on the stock turbo, which is expected. If I haven't said it already, this has a Eurocompulsion Phase 2 tune, I believe, one of the EC tunes. It has all bolt-ons and everything. I may just put a list on screen. I had another video where I verbally spoke about everything. This one, I really just want to talk about what I have plans for it. And just my first drive, literally my first damn drive. You're seeing my first impressions, and I gotta say, I am genuinely surprised. Oh, the gas gauge went up a little bit. I guess it just takes time for it to show that I filled up gas. I obviously test drove this before I bought it, and it felt great. I drove Mikey Turbo's car, and it felt great. That's what made me want to get this thing. And the one thing in this car that I wanted to fix, I gotta get my driving position right. It's just still a little awkward the way, like, the seating. I feel like maybe I'm leaning too far back. Anyway, the one thing that I have to do, I forget what I was talking about now. So, basically, I have the other video going over everything, and this one, I touched base on the first video about how I was thinking about going legit big turbo with a GTX 2860R Gen 2, and now I'm kind of double thinking it because I'm working with someone, or I'm in talks with someone, I should say, that has a stuffed turbo that is apparently a little bigger than the 1446 offering from Eurocompulsion, and I would still love to work with Eurocompulsion to tune this, so, you know, I'm going to try and get in touch with them because that is the goal. And I'm trying to see if we can find a drop-in, because at the end of the day, a drop-in is going to be more realistic for most folks. So if I can do the testing, because if you guys don't know already, I love doing testing. Let it be with the draggy. I already called the dyno shop today. I'm trying to get the dyno results of this car. It was dynoed in this similar state. I think very little bolt-ons are done after it, but it's with the stock turbo, same tune, same everything, very minor things done. Like I think he put a new intake in the MultiAir springs or whatever. But I have basically a dyno. Hopefully the shop still has it. And then my goal is to test out the newer turbo and dyno it for you guys. Just a little pull. That feels awesome. That mid-range, it just feels awesome. These 1.4s, like with the MultiAir, it just feels so good with the turbo. It's, man, I already said in the last video, I'm gonna get so much hate for getting this car and having to get rid of the RSX. But this is such a damn fun car. It really is. Back to the turbo. I am in talks with someone, and I'm going to be testing out some turbos. Yes, you heard that right. Turbos. Not just one. The goal is to test out a current turbo and then an even larger one in hopes to have a turbo that can hit, I don't know, a nice healthy 250 up into the top. Not now. I always talk about, I don't really care too much about peak. Like, I don't care if 220 is your peak, but by redline you're like 180 or 190. I want a turbo that's going to hold power and build it and see peak near the redline of 220, even 210, whatever. But ideally, if we could find a drop-in turbo that is capable of like 250 wheel, that might be that perfect area for folks who don't want to build their engine and be able to do anywhere from 220 to 250 or whatever, and should be able to take it, maybe even more. We don't know. That's why I'm going to be testing this, and ideally it's working with Eurocompulsion to tune the turbo still, even if it's not their turbo. I'd love to work with them still on this because I have a very good business relationship with them. So my goal is to try and bring a new offering to the Fiat Abarth 1.4 liter MultiAir community. Let it be even for the freaking, you know, Dodge Darts and Jeep Renegades, whatever it is, it all goes around. And Eurocompulsion does a lot of tuning for that with their 1446 plugs and other, you know, stuff that they have. But if I can find a turbo that they can tune and everyone wins, because Eurocompulsion will be the tuner, I'll be providing the turbo through another company, and being able to offer you guys a package deal of turbo and base map, and then you guys can do custom tuning with, you know, whatever tuner of your choice. Go stick with Eurocompulsion, go custom data log and tune with them or whoever. But that's kind of what I want to do. We all know we can do it with a legit larger turbo, like the GTX 2860 Gen 2, whatever. It's a freaking long name. It can be done. And a lot of folks overseas have done it. A couple folks in the States have ran 2860, performance, let it be if it's a Garrett or another brand. And apparently they're putting down, or capable of putting down, good power. It takes a lot of customization, you lose a lot of low end. If we can get a stuffed turbo that maximizes the top end with minimal down low loss, it might be the best of both worlds. You might not be the fastest car ever, but you're going to be in the top 10%, and you're going to have the reliability, hopefully, and the spool up and the characteristics of a semi-stock turbo, which would be pretty sweet, you know? So yeah, by the way, I'm going to have another video just going over the exhaust, but this is probably one of the quietest exhausts, the quietest full turbo back exhaust setup that you can get. They probably could get quieter, and I'll tell you why. He's got an ATP Catless Downpipe. That's where you can go quieter. But the insane thing is, it is so quiet. It's a Neuspeed Midpipe, which he put a 12-inch vibrant resonator, and it's the Neuspeed Muffler Axle-Back. This thing is quieter than stock, by a lot. He also gave me the Neuspeed non-muffler variant of an Axle-Back, which I will probably be putting back on. I don't like super loud, but this is really quiet. You hear the turbos, like in the induction, you hear the turbo whistle, the blow valve. You hear that? You just hear, and it sounds awesome, but these cars are known to have that amazing growl to them. And obviously this car is missing that. Okay, so the steering is definitely not as tight on this one. I just could tell when I took that turn. I was like, whoop. And that's the one thing I talked about in the first video. I want to tighten up the steering. He has the Elgato chassis bracing, but it's like the vertical braces or whatever. But they're not installed, they're brand new in box. I just got to pick them up. He's got a ton of stuff I got to pick up from him. So I still need to pick that up. Hopefully that'll tighten stuff up a little bit. But I will say, after this drive now, it already feels better than the first time I drove it, which is pretty sweet. So I'm not going to go too crazy, considering the turbo needs to get replaced. With my luck, I love enjoying the car. I'm not going to say beating on it. I'm not like power shifting it or nothing. Just, you know, opening her up, just enjoying, revving her out. But obviously with the turbo like that, I don't want to go too crazy. I do have another turbo en route to me, according to one of the companies that I've been speaking with. So there may be another turbo to test out in this car. And then I might have to get bigger injectors to help with that. Spin, spin, spin. How do I turn traction off? This is just spinning like crazy. There we are. Oh man, that feels good. Oh my god, I forgot how quick the stock turbo spools up. I'm always someone who says I don't mind more, you know, I don't mind the slower spool and decrease whatever, like, you know, waiting for it. But now that I'm driving a stock turbo again, like, it's pretty, the thing is like instantaneous. People who drive this stock say there's lag, but then coming from me with a slightly bigger turbo, it's actually pretty surprising. Like, yeah, it takes a split second to kick in, but once it does, it's fairly damn quick. I'm so happy I got this. It's so much fun. The sounds just amplify the fun. The car itself is a freaking joy to drive. It feels awesome. Obviously, he has a lot of suspension mods with the KW coilovers, a lot of other things going on. He just got the alignment dialed in, so it just feels awesome, even when I was taking some turns before. It feels great, it sounds awesome, it pulls pretty damn good for a 1.4 liter with just bolt-ons and a tune. Brakes are good. does like to wander just a little bit. I said that the first time I drove it. I was like trying to look at the gauge, and yeah, it's like just like my 124 stock. It goes near 16 pounds of boost as you get into Redline. But this feels good. Like, this is a freaking, it pulls hard. People forget it's just power to weight ratio, and this thing weighs like nothing. What the fuck are you doing? You just like pull over. Like, can you not drive? Blinker or don't blinker? What are you doing? Yeah, this thing feels great. These people like not being able to drive are confusing me here. So yeah, like I was saying, it tends to have this wandery feeling, like you're giving it throttle, and it just like you feel like the wheel's stray, and it's not really torque steer. It's just like an uneasy feeling of the car, like almost feels like it's like wobbling through the air, if that makes sense. I don't know. I'm assuming maybe Elgato braces will help. I believe they're in the rear, that's why I went like this. Yeah, that's the only thing I want to do. Like the 124, it just feels like it's glued to the damn pavement. No matter what you're doing to that thing, it just feels like it's glued to the pavement. This thing doesn't feel like that. It feels like it needs a little more tightening up and a little more feel communicative to like the steering, the ground, the road, me. I'm lacking that, and I kind of noticed it. Not that much in Mikey's Turbo's car when I drove it. A little more when I test drove this. Okay, these friggin' bumps in town, yo. But it is something that I would like to get addressed and hopefully be able to tighten it up. Like I said, not that it's anything bad, but it's just something that you notice. Maybe, I don't know. Like, could it be just a little bit of torque steer kicking in? Yeah, I don't know. It's very hard to describe. It's nothing crazy. It only happens when it's like, depending on how aggressively you're driving. But yeah, this video, probably not going to keep it too long. It's just going to be a first impressions of me driving it. As you see, get some nice action on it. Talking about the turbo, which I'm not going to go too in depth because we're still in talks with this, so I don't want to go too crazy without knowing the specifics of it. But yeah, this is my legit first drive in the new Fiat 500 Abarth. Welcome to the family. It feels awesome. I'm excited to make more content on this. I'm going to have some exhaust videos coming soon. Like I said, this is pretty damn quiet with this setup. If you guys have any input as far as what I should do to the 500, I already have some mods coming in. Rear taillights, I got the Euro spec. I think they're called like Gen 4 or something. Still learning all the right verbiage and everything for this car. But yeah, I got some mods already coming in, and I got some other things I want to do. If you guys have any input on the car, mods, this, that, little things to like that are like a necessity to make the car better, drop them in the comments. Let me know what you think, and I will have plenty more content on this car and the 124 Spider. Which, one bad thing about that, the rough idle started happening about 100 miles, 90 to 100 miles after. If anyone's been following that, I have a playlist going over all the issues. I will link it in the description. Maybe up here too, I don't know if I have enough room. Basically, I had rough idle misfire issues for a long time. Got a new tune, fixed it, but now after 90 to 100 miles, the rough idle came back. I did not data log. I don't know if the misfires are back, but I feel pretty confident the misfires are probably going to follow. That's for another video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Subscribe if you haven't already and you want to see more content. Check out drivendistrict.com for some performance parts and merch. Follow me on Instagram for more. I'll catch you guys in the next video.